Hey everybody, or I guess I could say everybody because everybody who watches this is everybody who watches it. I drive a lot. I've been doing Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, stuff like that for the last couple of years. I've driven a lot in California when I lived there for 7 years. I lived in Washington State, driving around there since from 16 to 23, and then again for like another year after I moved back from California. And then I moved to Pittsburgh, and I kept doing Uber Eats. I drove a lot. Pittsburgh is a very strangely set up highway and street system, but I guess you have to with all those rivers and bridges and hills and tunnels, and very annoying. But what I really want to talk about are things that you either should have learned while you were in driving school, or you should have learned from your parents, or you should have just learned or figured out from experience. One of the things is a passing lane. When you are in the furthest right lane, like let's say I'm on a 2-lane highway right now. When you are on the right side lane, you are welcome to go basically whatever speed you feel or you're comfortable with. But you do need to understand the lower you go under the speed limit, the more people you might surprise, because when you're in the distance they can't necessarily tell how fast you're going until they get closer to you. And if they lose attention for a couple seconds and you're going like 10 under or 5 under, and they're going like 5 over or 10 over, they're going to catch up pretty quickly, and they might be surprised by that. They might not have figured out what their path into the left-hand lane is going to be in order to pass you. So do your best to go at least the speed limit. I mean, I don't know what it is in every state, but I did once I moved to Pittsburgh, once I visited a girl in Pittsburgh, I did a road trip with a little itty bitty rental car, and I drove through Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina, North Carolina, went to DC, did New Jersey. I drove in Manhattan, which is a mistake. I didn't do that the next time. Getting out was the worst part, and I almost got sandwiched between 2 semi-trucks trying to get into Manhattan. This little compact car, and I got a semi-truck in front of me and a semi-truck to the right of me, and the semi-truck to the right of me was trying to merge into my lane for some reason. I don't remember why. I think the bridge that we were getting on had a forced merge. But the one semi-truck to the right of me didn't see me, apparently, until I started honking my little horn. And then, he saw me and stopped. That's very, very, a little bit terrifying. But, yeah, and I'm going to be driving now in Texas pretty soon, tomorrow. Be in, Louisiana, Alabama. I don't know if I'm driving through Mississippi, but I'll do, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina again, and then back up kind of towards Pittsburgh through some of the East Coast. But yeah, back to the lesson, I suppose. Try to go at least the speed limit. Again, what I was trying to say is, in some states, I don't know if you get pulled over for going over, very often. I don't know if some states have that. I heard back when I started driving that was true for some of the southeastern states, but I don't know for sure anymore. You guys might know better. Try to go at least the speed limit if you can. Obviously, if you got a semi-truck in front of you and the semi-truck has a posted speed limit that's under your posted speed limit, then you're stuck with that until you can get over. I choose to generally go about 5 over as my baseline for 65, 60, 55, whatever. But the other lesson is, when you are passing, forget about the speed you were doing. So you got cruise control set at 75 in a 70 zone. Forget about that speed. If you have an open lane in front of you to the left to pass, you rock it on up to 10 over, whatever, you get it done. You get it done, you get back into your lane, you let your car drift back down to your speed limit that you had set on your cruise control. You might never have had to press the brake pedal at all, so you'll just coast back to that speed, and then you're done. Get back into the right-hand lane, let the people who are going 80, let them pass you. You know, find your place. If there's a line that you have to fit into, you have to zipper into that line on the left, like a line of cars that are passing everybody. You know, find your spot, signal ahead of time. A lot of people don't signal. They'll just do it suddenly, which can also cause an accident. And then once you zipper into that line, which I'm about to do now, I think, you match speed. You don't continue going your 75 just like I'm passing these people who are probably doing. Well, my cruise control failed. I'm passing these people who are, you know, doing 70 or whatever. But if I were to jump into this line on the left, there's a bunch of cars that are passing everybody, and I were to just continue going my 75 miles an hour, I'd be pissing off people. I'd be having people behind me who are going 80. All of a sudden they have to stop. They're looking to the right lane, which draws their attention from the cars in front of them. They're like, can I pass this asshole who's in front of me now? And so match speed. You should be paying attention to the cars in front of you anyway, so you should know who's going under the speed that you like to coast at. I'm passing a semi-truck. In this portion of the country, there's no way this semi-truck is going to be going over the speed limit. They just don't here. I know there's a lot of places they do. Like, most recently I was in, I think they do it a lot in Pennsylvania, actually, but yeah. But that is lesson number one. How to pass, how to get back over, you know, how to be courteous, please signal, speed up in that left-hand lane, finish your pass quickly. The other part of that is you do not want somebody to your right or left. You always want to have an escape route, which I think is something they teach in driver's ed. But I think in driver's ed, they're really mostly trying to teach you about like how to follow the rules of the road. But if you read those rule books, I know it's a stupid thing to say, if you read the rule books, but if you read those books, they actually have literature in there about trying to maintain an escape route. If something happens in front of you all of a sudden, you have two choices, and these are going to be opposite choices. You can either brake hard and keep your steering wheel straight, or you can swerve and not brake. If you swerve and brake, odds are better that you're going to fuck something. You're going to like swerve out of control. You want to do one or the other. You learn this really the hard way sometimes when you're doing motorcycle classes. They want you to swerve, don't touch your brakes, you just swerve. So, but in a car you have two choices. You can kind of brake hard. In a motorcycle, it's just not really a good choice from higher speeds because higher chance you'll buckle under it. But yeah, make sure you signal, make sure you match speed in the left lane, get back over as soon as you can, and then make sure that you have escape routes. So that's passing and highway driving 101. I got a little bit of acid reflux going on. But yeah, stay safe out there. Be nice to your fellow drivers. One of the worst feelings is getting into the passing lane. Let's say somebody's going 70 in a 70, which is perfectly fine. You get into a passing lane to pass them, but you're stuck behind a car that's going 71 to pass that guy going 70. You're just like, oh God. Don't be that guy. Make your pass, finish it, go fast. Have some fun, go fast for a couple seconds. Ooh, did it feel good? Yeah. It feels good, baby. I should cut that out. I might. We'll see. Anyway, drive safe out there. More lessons maybe to come.